All right, we are here in the gap between games 3 and 4. Recording, Celtics got a big bounce back win in game 3, brought the series to 2-1. Uh, Shooting came back. Tatum found a shot a little bit, and it just felt like everything was a bit more in line. Even when they got up by 20, they managed to hold on and get all the way back. So we're going to take a look at how they closed some quarters today. Sam?
Yeah, closing quarters was first and foremost a massive problem in game two. Celtics were a minus 14 in the final 3 minutes of quarters of the Garden game two. They shot significantly worse than the Knicks. They turned the ball over 7 times. And I believe we talked about it on one of the recent shows. The third quarter is where the avalanche began. It's where things started to hit the fan. Celtics are up 20. There's about 3 minutes left. Quarter ends. They're only up 12. They turn the ball over a bunch of times, give up some transition buckets, and they made things very easy on the Knicks to get something going on a night where they had quite literally nothing going. On Saturday, much different. It was so much better. Joe Mazzulla was at the podium after the game, and John Corrales asked him and was like, is today's win as simple as this is what happens when the shots we are creating actually go in instead of miss? And he said no. He pointed immediately to closing quarters and not turning the ball over. So we can look at it today. The Celtics, in my opinion, one of the biggest stretches of the game came at the end of the second quarter. They are up 17 points after Jalen Brunson buries a three, and then they have an opportunity to close the half. And what do, Jack? They end the half up 25. So they win by 8 points in that window. They did a great job of playing control ball, and we'll take a look in a minute.
Yeah, go ahead. You can pull up the clips. I think
All right, let's pull them up as you speak.
when you look at like the way games unravel, those moments like carrying momentum and staying in the right mindset, like a winning mindset going into a break is important. And the Knicks won all of those. And every time you go to a break, every time they go to a huddle, it is the Knicks confident. It's the Knicks on top. It's them feeling good about themselves. And then the Celtics come out and they're almost fighting for their lives. It goes back to like kind of what Joe says sometimes of, the team winning by a lot of points is going to feel good, but they're going to try to protect the lead. And the team losing by a lot of points doesn't have much to lose. As you see Jason Tatum drain a bucket at the top of the key. And on top of that, right, we can look at some of the process here. Maybe you don't love this shot. It's fair. Maybe you don't love some of the shots they're going to take. The fact is they made plays and they didn't let the Knicks pull ahead in the final moments of quarters. And so if you don't like this Jason Tatum shot, that's fine. But the point is the Celtics made plays on offense and defense to ensure that their lead stayed ahead. So I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, they get this pull-up three in transition. Now, of all the clips I'm going to show you, Jack said it, I despise this shot. This, in my opinion, was reckless. It was a bad read the room moment, and it goes in. He pulls up with 15 seconds on the shot clock as soon as he sets his feet, 14. They haven't done anything offensively to try and create anything. He makes a read off the Horford screen where they kind of cheat on it and they give him the shot, so he punishes him. If you want that to be the positive spin that can be,
What was
I
he
do
shooting
like
from three at this point?
he had not missed. He hadn't missed at this
Okay,
point.
then
I wrote
I
about
have
it for Outward
no problem
Mancini
with it.
today, and I did mention that in the piece. But this is fine, but if he misses this, then it does open the door for the comeback. But he doesn't. He stays hot, finds the bottom of the net. Cat is nowhere near close enough to close out on him. He does the wrist celebration, and the boys are absolutely buzzing.
I kind of hate
One of
the
the
wrist
next trips,
celebration.
I like it.
I don't like it at all. I think it's lame. Maybe that's a hot
That
take.
really? Why do you not like the wrist?
It's just lame. It's just boring. Like it's nothing. I don't know. It's just I got it in the Magic series because like KCP was on the court and like he injured his wrist, but like I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
Anyways,
the taunt is kind of cool. So this is his next trip down. You've got Tatum, Horford again looking to screen. Comes up. They're hesitant to go over now because he just made the three, right? See how OG kind of second guesses, goes the wrong way? Cat is late again. They both scramble over because they're late. Tatum doesn't force anything, makes a great pass to Horford. He's patient, and Horford hits the big three to put them back up 21. Good process here. They do a good job of building off the sequencing, right? They got New York to panic after giving up the 3 ball in the last one, which is something you always say. That's why you have to take those shots, because when they go in like that, the defense gets so easily put out of whack like they were on this play. And they got one of the cleanest looks they could have got off such a simple action.
Yeah, you got to take the shots. I say it every time. You just said that. I say it every time. I'm going to keep saying it. Like, this is why Jason Tatum needs to take the pull-ups. Bless you. Like, you need to make sure to keep the defense honest. As soon as Tatum stops taking those shots, you run the risk of he's not going to ever get to the Josh Hart level because he's Jason Tatum, but he is fully capable of taking those shots. You just saw two Knicks defenders jump at a pump fake that would have been a sidestep fadeaway three because they know he can make it. And that's why you have to take the pull-ups. That's why you have to take them when you have space, because you need to keep the defense honest. And in this game, he did a good job of keeping them honest, and he made them.
He was great in this play, made a great read. They were very, very patient before halftime, which was an extreme reason for why they were able to close the half so well. The next play here is created on the defensive end. We talked about how important it was for them to lock in and engage. The Celtics at this point, they are up 21 points. Al Horford has just hit a big three. Oh, I just made the wrong screen, full screen. Stand by. Al Horford has just made a big three. They have a lot of momentum. This is the part of the game where I don't think the Celtics played bad defense in the first few games, but you could tell that they weren't able to get in, disrupt the Knicks rhythm. And then here you go here. New York running an action at the top. OG comes across. The pass is a bit lazy and they make him pay. And then they get out in transition, which is the easiest possible way they have scored this entire series. They've done a great job at getting points in transition, capitalizing on the transition buckets. And they did it by hustling, making the extra play on defense to make things difficult on New York. And it gets them an easy 2 to balloon it to 23.
Their defense was awesome in game three. I think their defense has been pretty awesome all series outside of that stretch in
I
game
agree.
one that I talked about. Especially the half court defense. Like outside of Jalen's off ball problems and Tatum's transition defense, I think the Celtics defense has been locked in. Like the Knicks haven't scored more than 108 points, and that was an overtime game. Like the Celtics defense has been a huge part, and it got even better in game three.
It's why the first couple losses were so frustrating on top of the blown lead. They did a good job defending. They just couldn't will themselves across the finish line on offense. They didn't do enough to finish it off, and that made it really tough to stomach those losses. Got a couple more plays here. We'll be done with the end of the second quarter. We can wrap the video. We've got more hustle. The Celtics, again, are up now 23 points. They are not going to relent on either side of the ball. And that's huge when you're in a spot like this where you have an opportunity to almost hit a kill shot on the Knicks. We start this clip with 5 seconds on the shot clock. They have played the 3 for 2, which is why they're shooting when they're shooting. Tatum fires up a 3, air ball. Derek White doesn't give up on the play, gets the air ball rebound on the baseline, finds Jalen. Jalen immediately puts it up, sees Tatum on the cut, could have threw him a lob, takes the jump shot, knowing that Tatum will be there for the putback if necessary. And now they are even more comfortable. They've done a great job of closing this quarter so far. They've gotten the stops. They've gotten good execution on offense. Even when things don't go well, they're not giving up on the play. This is the kind of basketball they needed to be playing, not giving up. And listen, they got key offensive rebounds in these first 2 games. We'd be wrong to say that they didn't. But the patience to make the right read by Derek, not continue to dribble the ball out, find the open man off the save, is a massive mental play.
Yeah, like I said, like even when the process is ugly, they made plays, and that is different from what you can say for the first 2 games of the series. So when you get down to these last moments of the quarter, sometimes it's just an extra crash. Sometimes it's just an extra guy going for an offensive rebound. Sometimes it's just an extra, body in the paint. Like you just need that little tiny bit to give yourself an extra advantage. Pritchard was crashing too. If it had bounced straight, he would have been there. He helped get that rebound. Like everyone knew the assignment on this play. So credit the Celtics. I mean, closing quarters is important, and obviously the threes helped. I think it would be silly to think that the threes didn't help, but closing quarters was a big reason they were able to stay ahead. Because if you think back to the games 1 and 2, like you close the third quarter, both of those games go from a 20-point lead to a 9-point lead, a 20-point lead to a 12-point lead. And those small gaps, if they had just made an extra play, played better transition defense, played better defense in the half court, or made an extra, whatever on offense, you wouldn't be in those positions.
You would not. And then they finally close the quarter with this. This is their final field goal. Jalen makes a free throw on the following possession. They're again playing the clock. They're trying to get a 2-for-1. Pritchard attacks Brunson, draws hard in, just enough to where he has to fly out to Jalen. Jalen makes a great read, pump fake, steps into the three in rhythm. I don't know what it is about the pump fake for him. He looks so much more in rhythm, smooth on the jump shot. He doesn't do that thing where he looks like he's shooting in slow motion. He did it another time later in this game, and it worked for me. I think it was the only other three he made. The more you can make the defense hesitant to close out on Jalen, I think the better. And this is just another good patience play. This is a guy that hasn't shot well from three in this series. He's still calm. He's waiting to see what the defense gives him, and he takes pure advantage of it.
I wonder if it's because he's more comfortable shooting off the dribble than off the catch. Because whenever he gets to catch and shoot, he just goes up super slow. Whenever he's off the dribble, it's a little bit better. So, yeah, listen, man, credit the Celtics for the way they stayed poised. Al Horford talked about that today. Just having poise in these big moments, and it's why they won the game. So, still plenty of games left. Still a long series ahead of them because of the holes they put themselves in games 1 and 2. But if there was ever a sign that they are back on track or back to somewhere where they need to be, it was game 3. So. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and all that. Sam, take it out.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment what you thought of the end of quarters, what you thought stood out in game 3, and how you're feeling going into game 4. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell too. We're here every single day with new content. Full pods drop Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Game recaps are up the morning after each game. Other videos like this one are up on the channel in between to keep you up to date with all things Celtics. You can find the two of us streaming pregame live a half hour before each tip-off. It's a lot of fun. Come hang out, get prepared for all the big games this spring with the two of us. We're here no matter what. You can find all pods and game recaps on Spotify and Apple, audio only. So if that's all you need, go ahead and follow. They will go right into your feed. Leave a 5-star review. Let us know what you're thinking. Tell your friends. We would appreciate that very much. You can email us, hbtcpod@gmail.com. We'll be reading your emails at some point on Monday as we record the pre-record of the full pod for Tuesday. So get them in. We'd love to hear from you guys. hbtcpod@gmail.com. Our socials are at How About Them C's for Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook's just the name of the podcast. All streams are there. They're on YouTube. They're on Twitter. Jack's Twitter is Jacksmon NBA. Mine is at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Taco, come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is bogus! These guys are